We're at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Tonight it's on to Week 4 as we've got a good Thursday night matchup in store between the Atlanta Falcons and the Green Bay Packers. Which of these 0-3 teams will visit the win column for the first time? We'll see. We're underway here in Week 4. Taken in at the 3. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Falcons get over first down at their own 20-yard line.
Ready.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming up for the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3.
Hey, check nigga.
Now back to throw. No, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down. Not the opening possession they were looking for, especially on the road.
No doubt about it because they wanted to come out and establish a little momentum right away. But now bringing up a 4th down, an empty possession, not what they were seeking.
Taking it about the 16. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches as we just saw him do there because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It's a gain of 16 and a 1st down for the green and gold. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
First carry now for A.J. Dillon. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down. The Packers had 0-3 here to begin the campaign. And you hate to have to say it this early in the season, but getting close to must-win time, is it not?
And I totally understand why you expressed it that way because it's so early in the season it feels like hyperbole. But I think you are spot on this one. Yes, there's still time to turn things around, but they've got to start to win right now if they have any hopes of trying to make the playoffs.
And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. 5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Rodgers going to throw. He's got the hook up with Dobbs. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Here comes Grant on the return. So holding there on the return, and that'll back him up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression, jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
On the set.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. On second, here's Algier. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long.
Here we go.
They'll drop to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
Here's Jamie Gillandale as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And taken right at the 35. So a change of possession here on the punt. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more in what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win, but we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it all together, they've got a chance of coming out with a W.
On second down, it's Dixon. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
Up the middle they run. Here's Dillon. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Yeah, and that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Back for the second quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football as they've got it with a third down coming up. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. From the gun on third down, Rodgers finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. And he takes us just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Rodgers' throw brought in by Watson. And there's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48, built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Tonight it's on to Week 4 as we've got a good Thursday night matchup in store between the Atlanta Falcons and the Green Bay Packers. Which of these 0-3 teams will visit the win column for the first time? We'll see. We're underway here in Week 4.
And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
The Falcons take over first down and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Ready.
Singletary to get the drive started. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Second and 9 now from the 21.
Steal. Check steal.
They're going to look to throw. Steps away to his left. And he'll just get rid of it.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. They'll look to throw. Completes it to Aguilar. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. On is Jamie Gillen to punt this one away. And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is brought in at the 21. 51 yards on the punt there. And that will come the offense as they take over. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll begin the drive with a run by Dillon. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
On 2nd down, another run for Dillon. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of the tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on it. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
They'll try and run for the first with Dillon. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A pickup of 5 that time and a 1st down. The Packers had 0-3 here to begin the campaign. They've lost 3 straight here. It kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak. And right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
Again, it's Dillon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Running up the middle, here's Dillon. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for it in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on third. Rodgers now to throw. And that's complete to Shepard. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 43. A nice pickup of 17 yards. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice sustained series to begin the game that will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
On first down, they go with Dixon. And down to the 36-yard line here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
Not a big run, not an explosive run, but they've held the ball for plenty of plays on this drive. They're just trying to impose their will on the defense right now.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Now Dillon on the inside give. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Now Rodgers on the bootleg. Steps away toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
And how nice is it for him to know that when he gets outside the pocket, he's got a reliable tight end he can go to. So he's able to look his way, find his big target, and set up 1st and goal.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. They'll run here with Dillon.
And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown.
A.J. Dillon,
his first touchdown on the year.
And the Packers will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight.
Now the extra point. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. And let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the...
Looking there for Pitts, but intercepted.
Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And the Packers
Falcons are going to take possession of the football. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and he can't do it all on one throw.
Dillon up the middle. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Over here.
Dixon trying up the middle. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
On the handoff, this is Dillon. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
40 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd down, another run for Dillon.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
In motion left goes a tight end.
They run once more with Dillon.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
That's a great run right there on 1st down. Didn't quite get into the end zone, but now you've set yourself up for at least 2, maybe 3 more shots from close range.
2nd and goal from the 1.
Dillon is going backwards here, all the way back to the 5-yard line.
He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
Now receiver in motion left. Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. And this heads straight to the sideline. I don't think they're going to let him get away with that. Nope, they won't. Here comes the flag. Now, if you're going to get rid of it, you better get outside the pocket.
Yeah, you have to get outside of that tackle-to-tackle box, right? Get out there, and then you can do it legally, but he wasn't able to do so, and they end up losing the down as well.
And this one is right through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
Targeting Pitts on the out route, and he's got it complete.
And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Come on, set.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
Probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw.
Well, this is intercepted. They get Ritter for the 3rd time. Picked off by Quay Walker. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Running left is Dillon.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about tiny? You're talking about the little guy back
Tiny.
there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
Over the middle, complete. That's Ramirez. And they'll work this down inside the 30. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's
I am.
miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Rodgers going to try and throw on third down. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Rashad Evans, the linebacker, recording the sack there.
That's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction. And that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them. And now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
And this one is right down the middle.
That kick, by the way, Charles, a career long.
Well, we did watch him in pregame, and he hit from this distance, so not a surprise. But there still is something exciting about it, carrying it over from practice and pregame to actually doing it in live action.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
2nd and 4. Oh, and that'll be incomplete. He took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Out of the gun now on third down.
He's got his tight end, Anthony Ferkser. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Back to throw again. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The drive starts with a carry by Dillon.
And some room to maneuver.
And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 60 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Dillon now on 1st and 10. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the toss, coming left, Dixon. They'll get this to about the 38.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
On 2nd down, Dillon. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Swings this out here for Cohen. A solid stiff arm. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up the 1st and goal. Well, and this is where quarterbacks' passing numbers sometimes get a little bit more inflated than they should, because this is a short little pass, but it goes for big yardage.
Yeah, this has been a really tough game for this defense. They've been left grasping at shadows. Haven't done a good job at all containing these receivers, and they get lit up yet again.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the catch on the next-gen stats. Throwing is Rodgers. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That's a Packers touchdown. Josiah DeGuara, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bowling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Point after, right down the middle, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Ready, break.
He'll look to throw. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
Trying to lay one up deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
What we've seen so far in this game, they are not going to allow a big shot over the top. You can have whatever you want underneath. They'll give you that, but they're not going to let you beat them deep.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. Third quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. On play action, they'll throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But Let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Rodgers. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw, it's Rodgers. Looking for his receiver, sharp, and it's intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And now here's another interception. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And the Packers are going to have it here at their own 15. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
But based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. A gain of 3, 2nd down. On play action, it's Rodgers. Out to his left. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's got some space here. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Rodgers going to give this one to Dillon. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now a handoff right side. It's Dixon. Gets around him. And some room to run now. There he goes right side. Touchdown, Packers.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll set up a throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Jair Alexander in from the corner to make the sack.
Well, someone is certainly having a big game, and while that sack doesn't quite have the splash of his pick six from earlier, you know he's thrilled to be making big plays during a great individual effort today.
Now here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. And take it right on the 30. So possession goes over here on the punt. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
You just kind of feel for the defense right now. This deficit, they have not been able to stop them the entire game, Charles. And some hands on hips, some long faces out there on the defensive side. They're like, oh, my gosh, we got to face these guys again here.
Yeah, people don't understand how hard it is when you're on the side that's being dominated to keep your head up and continue to play hard. And that's what they're going through right now, trying to find that pride inside of them to allow them to continue to fight, even though they are down huge in this game.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 11. Rodgers going to throw. And able to complete it to Moreau. And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. And this looks like a roughing call. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused.
Must have.
It had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And they're going to move it down inside the 25. Well, fans expect these primetime slots to deliver some of the best games each week. And, well, one team has certainly followed through with that tonight. Just an absolute clinic, Charles, on offense here. And they don't seem to be done trying to drive that football.
Yeah, and continue your theme about one team enjoying it. One fan base is enjoying it as well. The other fan base, they might disagree with what they've seen, but the one that's winning, they're certainly getting their money's worth.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action, but other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Boy, missed tackles continuing to plague this defense, and they surrender another big play and a touchdown here.
Yeah, by my count, at least 2 guys had shots at it, maybe even more than that. But this defense, they looked out of sorts all game long. That was definitely not one of their better efforts right there.
Extra point splits the uprights, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll go down at the 2-yard line. What a disaster there.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Back to throw now in his own end zone. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it 2nd down. They'll look to throw. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And they work this out past the 25. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Down.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Here we go.
And they will take a knee here. 2 running plays, each lose a yard. They'll need to do much better now on 3rd and 12. And they take a knee. Here's Jamie Gillen now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. And they'll indeed take a knee. So not just a blowout win for them today, Charles, but a shutout blowout win as well. Clearly just a superior effort on both sides of the ball.
Hey, didn't it feel like you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown, and then the defense jumped up and said, hold it, we're getting involved as well. You're exactly right. Big points, both sides contributing, a full team win.
So for the Packers, it took a few weeks, but they finally get their first one of the season here in Week 4. And they'll have a few extra days here now before they face the Lions next week. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans Saints.